Hello guys. So welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Denise, and for right now, my channel is um basically a project of getting all of the creative energies out. Is a process of healing. It is kind of going along a trajectory that was already, the foundation was already made, and YouTube videos is also a part of it, because um, it's kind of holding myself accountable to certain things. As we progress, you will understand, because it has to do with like um, well, obviously, I'm an artist um, and writer, so that has um, some degree of accountability in terms of keeping projects moving, keeping them outside of your head, getting work done. So this has to do with that. But this video in particular has to do with like a more personal aspect of Deneve. Um, Recently, which was 2 weeks ago, I did a very important um, surgery, which is called a myomectomy. And this definition from usfhealth.org is just the first definition on YouTube, on Google right now. So you can also Google it if you want. But that is myomectomy is also known as open myomectomy, is an abdominal myomectomy, or an abdominal myomectomy is a major surgical procedure that involves an incision through the skin on the lower abdomen, known as a bikini cut, and removing the fibroids from the wall of the uterus. The uterine muscle is then sewn back together using several layers of stitches, and that's what I recently did. Um, you get to go under anesthesia, so you sleep, or you just don't remember what happened, whichever your idea or your concept of anesthesia is. And that then you wake up and you're in a room and everybody else is recovering from surgery. Um, I did my procedure at UA, the University Hospital of the West Indies. Um, why I All right, so context of journey. So I think that might be a better space to start. A lot of So I believe the number that I was quoted was that on the ward there was like 60% of women of African descent. They are the ones who are more susceptible to having these kinds of problems with fibroids, and they make up the most other people who would be myomectomy candidates, are people who do myomectomy out there. So my realization that I had fibroids happened in, whew, do I want to age myself on YouTube? No. um, Happened earlier in my life, and um, what ended up happening is um, I ended up changing my diet, became vegan. That didn't work so much. gave me beautiful skin though. um, so that didn't really have an impact, and they kept growing. Um, I tried to get surgery in terms of other ways. I used to work at a school that was for artists, and the healthcare there was not. Basically, you couldn't pay for a myomectomy or a root canal. You would have to pay out of pocket. So stopped working there, thank God. And so due to my current situation at UA, um, it ended up being affordable for me to do the procedure. That was also a point that one of the nurses had made clear to me, that even though a lot of people need to do this surgery, a lot of women, because if you don't got a uterus, you ain't gonna get it. Um, why women have like apprehensions about going into surgery is because, well, you know, they don't have the money to do it, and that's a real thing. And that was a part of my journey as well, because at one point I really did not have funds. No matter what I did, like I'd get close to it, and then that money get, you know, turned into an emergency for something else, and things happen. So fibroids is a real thing. I think because it is a slow moving internal thing, people don't think it's important. For me, especially being a model for so long, it was something that was thought embarrassing, because when you would go on jobs or whatever, one of the first things is that, like, oh, you look pregnant, or oh, your belly so big, or you should work out and whatever. And it's like, trust me, you do not work out half as much as me. But it is what it is, and you deal with it. Sucking in your belly, just that don't work. Um, and then you would have uneven places. Not to mention, like, people being insensitive about things when, you know, um, body shaming kind of thing, that would happen. But I would like to say I have a thicker skin, but it is what it is. You can't really let things inside. Um, so yeah, that was a thing, and I guess it is in process right now. I am still getting dressings. So you go in for the procedure. So I went in for the procedure. I think it was Monday. I want to say Monday, Tuesday. The night off, you shave you shave the area, and you the attention from the nurses and doctors up by you is like phenomenal. I'm really grateful for all of that. Um, so you shave your area, you get a good night's sleep, because the following morning you would get woken up. Obviously, you get like medication, you get in blood work, you get the things in your hand that IVs, I believe they're called. I kept a journal, um, just because it is a process for me. Um, I am not sure if I'm ready to read everything that happened in the journal, but when I was doing research on myomectomy, And like going into the hospital, one of the feedback that I got was that it would be a good idea for you to bring like writing material so that you can assist and be more proactive your with like when your healthcare when the nurses are like doing blood work and that kind of thing, measure, because what ended up happening was let's go measuring. When you go to the restroom to pee, you would measure how much fluids come out of your body, and this was very helpful so for records in terms of like making sure that you are in the right place that you're supposed to be at after a major surgery. So that was helpful. Like when so that's why I said it's good if you're going in for a myomectomy to bring like a journal so that you can write down things. If you want, you can also make videos. I did not make videos because um, I wasn't comfortable being that vulnerable. Um, in terms of um, I thought it was more important for me to feel and heal and be 100% in the process as opposed to making content at that time. I don't know if it's a bad move on my part or whatever. It is what it is. Um, so yeah. Yeah. So after that, you get wheeled in. The morning you get wheeled in. Um, you are then in the operating theater, and nurses would come in. You would exchange your clothing because you get like the robes that tie at the back. Um, and so you get wheeled in, nurses come in, I give you to the operating theater nurses. The operating theater nurses do like a mini interview. All of this, like basically, your whole entire time is a whole interview about your health history. It's like, how are you feeling? What are you feeling? Have you ever did what was like one question? You're gonna get a whole heap of question about your lady parts. um, yeah, and you know, when did you notice them? How that kind of thing, and so that wasn't in the operating theater. That was before. But operating theater, you would get questions like, I don't remember anesthesia. So anyway, you get that done. You meet the operating theater nurses, they introduce themselves, they tell you what's going to happen. You exchange the robes, so there were blue robes for like um, that you are going to do surgery because everything is color coded, obviously, because that would make things more effective. So then you get the green robes for the operating theater, because in the theater you get moved from the transportation bed that wheeled you into the theater, and then you get moved to the bed that is going to put you inside the theater because everything has to be sterile. Um, so then, yeah, you get wheeled in. You meet your anesthesiologist, who mine was awesome. Hello, Lefty, left-handers of the world united. Um, with me, I was so all the IVs and stuff were in this hand. Um, what ended up happening was like, I don't know. I guess I was talking a lot. I think probably you are a little bit nervous from because is my first surgery, my first major, surgical operation outside of like, probably whatever, I can't remember, tooth things, dental things, whatever. So, like a root canal or whatever. But that is, some you are awake for that, so it's not even in comparison. Um, so then there was this thing that was going into my hand, and they were like, it's going to burn a little bit. It did. Um, but I was like, hey, probably you need to, because I was concerned that, I don't even know. But anyways, when I woke up, I had another IV in the side of my hand on the other side. So, and I guess they read my mind, but whatever. Um, and then the anesthesiologist says, this is oxygen, and yeah, breathe in deeply, and you do. And then she goes, now you're going to smell something funny. And in the great scheme of things, it's not the funniest thing I've smelled. And then I woke up outside of the operating theater, and nurses were running around doing other people. I guess they had already sorted me out and was waiting on somebody to come and wheel me back to my ward. Big up ward 10. I was on ward 10. Well, room 8. Yeah, and then I got then you get wheeled back. You very carefully go lie down. Um, move from one bed to the other. Um, and then you spend like 3 days being observed, making sure that your wound is, healing, that you are healing, that, and in that time you're getting like a whole heap of antibiotics, obviously, so that you don't, get like an infection. But in addition to that, you're getting a lot of painkillers because you just got yourself cut open. You will be passing some blood, and that is usual. You will be passing some blood, and that is usual too. Yeah, and it is helpful to just record yourself. What I did too is was listening to a lot of like YouTube things in terms of like healing, in terms of like keeping myself in a meditative kind of zen like state so that I don't lose myself and be 100% available to the process. Like I said, that was one of the reasons why I didn't do a look at me, this is me kind of thing, because I needed that energy to be coming from inside out. Um, so yeah, that was one of the processes. I guess I would be open to questions. And this is still like a process of healing. I don't know anybody else yet who has done this kind of thing. Um, I asked the nurse when I went for my dressing every day. So after you got out of the hospital, so the hospital stayed 3 days. So by Friday, I was released. So during that kind of process, you go back every 3 days, and you dress the area and change the bandages. Quick thing, no biggie. Um, but yeah, that what I was going to say. It was important to. It will come back. Said so. Right now, part of my journey is is just reaching out and finding like places online. So Facebook, I guess, would be a place online that to find other people who have done this. Oh, like I said, diet and exercise. I can't exercise until the next 3 months. I believe that is kind of a big thing for me. I usually do like at home yoga. That is helpful. The doctor said it was impressive. My pelvic area had good muscle tone. So if you are going in for that, there's this exercise called cat cow. That's basically what you do on all fours and you kind of roll your back. That is a good kind of every night, every morning kind of thing. You wake up and you do that prior to, so that it kind of help build the muscles in that kind of region. Um, uh, I know that I will probably do another post or better postings on this. Um, I don't necessarily want to say what I'm doing completely because it is kind of fresh and also is kind of journaling. And if my journal helps you, then albeit if it's even just for entertainment purposes. But things get better. Obviously, I will figure out editing and stuff. I have my COVID video that I did. I will upload it. Initially, I thought I would do like a COVID video and fuse everything, and it is like this seamless, beautiful thing, and write a blog post or whatever. But luckily, I was talking to my friend B, and we agreed. So it's really good to have good people around you. I agree that is it just makes sense to get things out of your brain and into the world. And this is kind of why I'm doing this YouTube post like this, and this kind of raw. um, in the future, I can kind of contextualize what my content would be around. Yeah, it would be about like how I go about my healing process, things that I do that would be of use to anybody who is going through that journey. In addition to that, um, so so here's the fun. I'm a Gemini. Let's just deal with that. So I have so many things that are very conflicting. So initially I thought my YouTube videos would be about digital marketing strategy and content creation and how I do things like that. Um, and then there's the other part of it that goes, it is about spirituality and being, you know, kind of in what some would accept is like an occult kind of way. I do not subscribe to um, traditional religious practices. So there's that would be of some benefit to some people, especially in Jamaica, who are it is a Christian nation. You do not necessarily get the most welcoming of feedback when you are a certain kind of way. Um, so there's that about my channel that would be if it serve it, serve it. If it don't, it just doesn't. Um, in addition to that, there are other layers. So like I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep my older videos. My older videos had to do with me as a writer, me just being free enough with my voice. So I would have been reading poetry, you know, because I thought there were so many poems and I would never ever get bored of doing that, you know. Um, but for me right now, I think it's more important to be consistent and to be present and to be available and to be here as opposed to, you know, art and, and whatever notions I had about, you know, me being on YouTube and creating content and who and what gets said or seen or whatever. Um, yeah, I think I covered most everything on that. Feel free to like leave questions in the comments. Feel free to like and share. Um, like I said, it is a journey and it will be like, you know, cumulative. It will be me adding things along the way. Yeah. So yeah, a myomectomy, it is an important procedure. It, fibroids can kill you. Mm. Because elective surgery. Um, People think it's not that important, but if left unchecked, they will, you know, develop and cause complications in other areas, and you don't necessarily want that. So, and self-esteem too, because like I feel better just like right now, because I used to feel heavy and, you know, insecure sometimes about like my body area. And I'll make it sure. Duh. But you just deal. Um yeah. What else I can say to you about like what happened? Um it's good. Oh, it is so. Oh, you will lose blood, a whole heap of blood, because everything is connected to something else, connected, and so many um parts that, you know, bring vibrancy. Let's call it that, to different areas. Your is a very heavily traversed blood part. So yeah, you do need blood. I needed blood. Luckily I have a sibling. So my sister gave blood to me, and that is, yeah, the biggest thing. Um, the biggest, coolest thing for me. Cause she saved my life. That's basically what it is. Um, I needed 2 pints. I got one. It is what it is. I have feelings about the whole situation. I guess I am still working through that. But if you can, it would be a good idea to be a blood donor from now. Um, just especially, well, being in Jamaica, I'm talking about Jamaican experience. Just be a blood donor, just get yourself on the donors list, so then like you won't necessarily have to have any kind of complications, especially if you're like only child or you don't really have people who can give blood, like people that are older and retired or whatever. So you being a blood donor would be a better situation for you going into this or any kind of surgery. So I would encourage you to be a blood donor. After my 3 months of, you know, awesomeness and healing, I will be doing that whole blood donations again. I used to be like a better blood donor, but then I fell off for a couple of years, and this is what happened. Yeah, so give blood. Um, Thank you for hanging out with me. I have no idea how much, how the length and breadth, or what kind of videos you're going to like. Um, this is a growing learning process for us both, so it will be fun. Um, yeah, I I don't think this channel will be only about a one thing, so it will be, a lot of things. But it will be in journal format, like a video journal, um, until it doesn't, until it is something else. Um, until things get better, I figure out how to do things better. We grow together, and that's just kind of where it is. But I am very encouraging of not only for myself but for you who are watching this video up until this time. Very grateful. Um, to I encourage you to get your creativity from outside of your head. You know, put it out in the world. Get to a place where you are creating things and not just saying that you're going to do it, keeping yourself accountable, having weekly spaces for yourself where you, as a creative, check in with yourself. We will go more in detail about creativity, blah, 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 whatever. Um, yeah, but it's important to get your ideas and the things that turn around in your head from inside of your head to the outside world. And this is just kind of my process of getting that done. In addition to that, I have this cool story about, how I got my scar. So, um, yeah, although you don't even notice, they did such a great job there. You don't even see anything. I don't know if the YouTubes will allow me to show things, so I won't be, pushing things like that. But yeah, that is what happened, and I'm so grateful that I am alive and able to share the story with you. Um, Comment, like, share, and subscribe to my channel, because obviously I'll be doing more content in the days and weeks and months and years to come. Yeah, thank you so much for your time. I love you. Bye bye.